on the fat, all fogged up the Stairfoot roundabout. I always drop on leaks at red and green and must have fused. There's a bus lane down the middle that's never ever used. So I'd love to go and sort that plonker out that dreamt up that Stairfoot roundabout.
Dave Cherry, hello Dave.
Afternoon, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine. And I've also got Martin Scothern. Is that right?
That's right.
I can't remember the in the middle of it. And Dave, they've come to tell me all about the Care for Clare campaign and what Dave's actually doing for that. Martin, I'll touch you first. What? Tell us a little bit about the Care for Clare campaign, will you?
Yes, Steve. As you know, it started in April, following the end of the inquests into the sad loss of Jack and Paul. Really, what we're trying to do, as you know, is get Clare back into a home. Home's badly fire damaged, it's unlivable, and its insurance cover's been cancelled on the property, unfortunately. Now, when I say get Clare back into a home, we don't mean the home where the fire was. We're looking to rehouse her somewhere she wants to stay in Penistone. And this campaign's around raising the finances and supplies that we need to do that.
Right, so how much have you raised so far, do you know?
Yeah,
exactly?
I do, actually. We're sort of around the £15,000, £16,000 worth in cash. But on top of that, we've got some good offers of help in terms of doors and windows and plastering, etc., from local suppliers. Quite remarkable, really, how everybody's rallied. I've had both extremes. I've had a check this morning for £5,000
that's incredible.
from somebody, which is incredible generosity. But equally, I had a lady gave me her ironing wages where she'd been an ironing job. So people have been tremendous, you know, but that is this community, is Penistone. It's never, ever let us down. Yeah. And it's not just in Penistone, actually, it's in Barnsley and Sheffield as well, local people and from further afar, but just demonstrates to you that we see this as like a mark of our community, really. We want to put this matter right the best we can.
Yeah, it doesn't matter really how much people give, does it? I mean, a little bit or a lot, every little bit counts, doesn't it?
It does, and I know Claire would want to say that's been massively important to her, the fact that people have rallied and supported, not just because of the actual campaign, but the fact that the feeling that she's not on her own and people care about her and sort of want to put this together.
Yeah, I think it's important that we all get behind her. And does the target is what, 70,000? Is that right?
Not quite as much as that. We think around 50,000.
Yeah.
We can't put an exact price in it because we've now engaged a buildings project manager who's working for us voluntarily in his own time on top of his day job, which we're really grateful for. But the way we need to do the first stage is to actually gut out the interior of the house and sort of take all the plaster off and everything else, so we can have a proper look. But the estimates we've got so far from builders who are qualified to say this really is around 50k. That's a combination of supply, services and obviously cash that we need.
Yeah, which is a fairly difficult sum to get hold of, isn't it, really?
It is. I just have to say I'm very confident that we'll do it, especially with help from likes of Dave, who was energised, as I have to say, and I'm sure you'll realise him, he's an energising character. We are, which we're very grateful for. But we're confident we're going to get there. And certainly, as you know, St John's Church at Penistone have sort of wanted to do this because it was the centre of the initial fallout from this. People came to church to sort of, as a bonding place, really. People who go to church and people who don't, it became the centre of the community. So we felt it was probably right that we carried that forward.
So, Dave, I'll come across to you now. You've got an event coming up then. You're part of the fundraising event, and it's held by Stagecoach Yorkshire and Brian Totty, I understand.
Oh, yeah, Stagecoach Yorkshire, the big bus company, Steve. Yeah. Absolutely magnificent. I emailed him, Paul Lynch, to call the director. Yeah. Paul, I want some money. It's Dave Cherry, we know how it come back. What do you want? We're doing it. Now, bear in mind, Steve, when I did the old club trip, my musical, they sponsored that lot. And, thousands and thousands of pounds. It were on 3 times at the Lamp Room. So that was my natural thing. And they come back, wonderful. Then I phoned Brian up, Brian Totty, the lad who does the signs, my old mate. No problem. We're having banners made and everybody's rallying round. It's magnificent. We wanted a venue. So straight away I went to the Holiday Inn, which is, very prestigious. It's Barnsley's number one place.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was caught. Actually, Kathy Marquis, the girl from the Barnsley Rotary Club, it was her only last week. Dave, we've got to do something to help this poor woman. So I said, well, what, Kathy, what do I do? Do I do it like like a busking thing, get some turns on, acts on, or what? Or do I fire away with the films? So as you know, I copy archive films. So, right, so I got the sponsor, I got the venue, so then the films. Well, I knew it would work, Steve, because I've just written a book, the Woodhead Diaries, all about the tunnel here, about the navvies.
Oh, yeah.
So, I knew it in Penistone here, lovely, like Martin just said, small, knit community. The book was launched here at the library. I had a film show, and then down here at the community hall for the camera club, house full, brilliant. And so I knew that would work. So we've got the date, and we're just waiting now. So let's fire away and see how much we can raise.
Yeah, let's see. Now you're famous, aren't you, for all sorts? Yeah, you're famous for your quiet, reserved attitude, aren't you?
Oh yes.
Yeah, and you're also famous for the roundabout song, aren't you?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
10.5 years ago, 2004. Yeah, 10.5 years. That's when I'd already written that first bit. I'd like to get my hands upon the wart, that's where, thought up the stairfoot roundabout. And this woman, she said, Dave, why don't you finish that? I used to do a lot of little jingles on the stage, them like Grimethorpe. I can see Brearley, now the pit has gone. Or in Sheffield, them from Sheffield, talk like this, dee-da. So it was like a little jingle, if you like.
Yeah.
And so I finished the song. And all the taxi drivers around Barnsley bought it. Anyhow, I went to the hospice and they snapped it up. And wow, you couldn't believe it. It made 24.5 grand. 24.5 thousand.
That's incredible.
I know. So that was it, and that's my name. It's when I die, that'll go on my grave, won't it? That's not me in that Dorothy's churchyard. So yeah, I got roped in with this lot. This Care for Clare thing. So yeah, we just see how it goes. It's a fiver in, Steve. We're cheap butty thrown in. As I say, I've already got the sponsor. I've got Kathy and Martin here to do all the legwork, if you like. Brian Totti with the banners. I'm going to have 3 big banners made. So, I must tell you this, Steve. It went on the website Saturday night. I had to get it on the website, rushing. Town Talk. I've just checked. 930 views. It's only Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. 930. All right, I mean, they're not all going to go there, but it's getting that word out there, if you like.
That's it.
And all the establishment are behind me, all the councillors. I went to see the Experience Barnsley Museum. Paul Jebbins, they call the lad. Lovely lad. I wanted to show there's a 1920s film, 1930s, which has allowed me to show it. It's their copyright. I didn't want to breach that copyright. It's a wonderful film. See, I've got to hit it halfway, Steve. There's people like us. There'll be kids there, so I've got to make it interesting, I've got it on a broad spectrum. All right, I could have got a few acts, local Barnsley acts, to sing and that, but I thought I'll go other way, film show. So that's, hopefully, let's hope it works,
Yeah. Can we ever listen to the roundabout song? Would you mind?
You sure can, but I'm fed up with hearing it.
You might have heard it once or twice before. Here we go.
The canal.
That's brilliant. That's Stairfoot Roundabout. That's Dave Cherry, and like I said, that's earned £24,000.
24.5 grand.
£24,500. That.
Yeah.
And if people want to get a copy of that, can they still get it?
Yeah, hospice in Barnsley. Yeah, they've still got some copies there. Yeah.
Does the money go to them?
Every penny, yeah.
Every penny to Barnsley Hospice. It's a good cause then.
I mean, 70 grand. It passed 70 grand last year, total.
Really?
I could buy that house, couldn't I?
Yeah. So how did you get involved in the Care for Clare campaign then?
Well, as short as last Monday, Kathy, they call her Kathy Markwick from Deep on here. And she's the press officer for the Rotary Club, Barnsley Rotary Club. Now then, Steve, I do the Rotary Club every month. They're called a jam party, and I show me films, but they only open like a third of the section at Holiday Inn, 70. Now, them tickets go in an hour. They go, and that's it. So I said, Dave, we must do something to help this poor man. So I said, well, what do you want, Kathy? I says, Rotary Club. She says, well, the Rotary Club, Dave, will not sponsor one item like this Clare thing. They sponsor these big things, Steve, like cancer and these young at hearts at Barnsley Hospital. So I'm using all their facilities, if you like. I've got Kathy there, who's expert at, pulling things in and arranging things. So she then arranged with Martin. That was as late as last Thursday. So then I found stagecoach, got sponsorship. So I was halfway there. I got the venue and I've got the sponsor. And then, the signs, the posters, Brian Totty. So we're here. Nearly cracked it now. So we've just got to bums on seats. That's what we want. We want raffle prizes. If there's anybody out there in Penistone land, we need raffle prizes for this duel. So yeah, that's what it's about,
That's brilliant. You've been involved in all sorts of things, haven't you? I mean, you've been on the club circuit. You're not just you don't want to talk about the clubs,
I did it. I first started as a young lad in 1962. Would you believe? I went.
You don't look old enough.
Oh, I feel it. My legs are that bad, Steve. I don't know which leg to limp on. I'm that bad, but oh no, I've always been involved in that sort of game. I worked at Pitt as well. I worked up at Levy up here. That was my background. So, and I was lead guitarist with the Levy Taggers in the 70s. But I jacked in. I just jacked in. I'd had enough until I wrote that Daft Roundabout song. And that was it. From BBC, all the telly things and everything come forward. So, yeah, but. In fact, Andy Kershaw from Radio Sheffield, he says, if Dave Cherry can't raise out, nobody can. So
he's probably right.
Yeah.
Have you met anybody famous while you were out and doing all the clubs then?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and all them 60s, we'd be support band.
Yeah.
Like at Civic on a Monday. There'd be big groups on Johnny Kidd and the Pirates and, them from Ponty. Honeycombs. Have I the right to hold?
Oh, yeah.
Dave D. Dozy making teach.
Yeah.
Status Quo, we once did that them at Huddersfield.
Oh, we're still going, actually.
Oh, I know, they were on that thing on telly the other day,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have met them, and as I said, we used to do big bingo clubs around Leeds and that, so there was a big act, and then us, support band,
Now,
so,
you mentioned you wrote jingles, and that's what made you start off on the Roundabout song, but that's not all you write, is it? Are you writing something called the Woodhead Diaries?
Yeah, I've just written the book, the Woodhead Diaries. Kill me, Steve. 2 years to write. All about Penistone here, and, the Woodhead Tunnel, infamous tunnel. A lot of Irish navvies. Thousands got killed, and there's no graves, there's no epitaph, there's no monuments, so that what triggered me off. And it took 2 years to write, and while I was doing that, in my research, I managed to get hold of a lot of old films. As you know, Penistone here was a big railway town, big halfway between Sheffield, Victoria, Manchester, Piccadilly on the Central Line. So I'm going to show this on Clare's Night. It's called Penistone, the Railway Town. They're all private films, and it should be good. I know I showed them down at this camera club, down at Community, and they were knocked out. They really were. It's good footage, it's good stuff. As I say, but what intrigued me with the book, it was this social aspect, how in the 1840s, this place was flooded with these Irish navvies, and half of them got killed. Unbelievable. That was history. 1838, the first tunnel. So yeah, the book's out on Amazon. Anybody interested? The Woodhead Diaries. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, it was a very dangerous occupation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In a navy,
yeah, civil engineering.
Yeah. Martin, can I come back to you? Can you tell us a bit more detail about this event from Dave? We know it's at the Holiday Inn. We know he's going to play a couple of his films. When is it going to be, though?
It's
come a bit closer to that microphone.
It's June the 11th, 6 p.m. till 9 p.m.
Thursday. It's the Thursday.
It's a Thursday. I think you can tell already from listening to Dave, it's going to be good fun.
Yeah.
Because you can only spend 5 minutes with Dave, and if you feel better already, so I think everybody will enjoy it.
It's cheered me up no end.
But I think what you've got is the mix of good humour, a good family entertainment, obviously for a good cause. But equally, we're going to find out a little bit more about our history and about our community history, which I think will interest people.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
I've got to stop you, Steve. Wife, she says, what are you going to call this night? I says, an evening with Dave Cherry. She says, who wants to spend a night with thee?
How much does it cost, Dave, did you say?
It's a fiver in, but we've got a cheap butty, Martin, haven't we?
We have.
Cheap butty in it, so it's, and a pot of tea, so I think it's good value,
Yeah.
But don't forget, it's all for this this lady, you know.
Yeah, and if people if they want to get involved, is it advertised anywhere? Is it on the website or something?
It is. There's two sources really. One is Town Talk, the Town Talk website, and the other one is the St John's Facebook site, which has got not just regular updates about this event, but how the campaign's going in general. Both of which, if you look on either, the link to either site. So if you go on Town Talk, it shows you one way, and on the Facebook site, it diverts you back the other way. So you can see it online on both sites. I'd like
to thank you both very much for coming in this afternoon, Martin, Dave. It's
wonderful.
been a pleasure to meet you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Hallelujah, God has spoken. Traffic flows better when the lights are broken. Cocked up, that's there for it roundabout. That knocked up, that's there for it roundabout. Bobby Bill at New Street, the queues he'd save if he saw that stairfoot, he'd turn in his grave. Oh, knacked up, that's there for it roundabout. I hope I eat that lady, you know. I hope, look at her driving that four-wheel thing. Is she doing anything? What about him? What about him there in that red estate? He's getting shaved, him. I've been round 9 times, me now. Well, I can't. Why didn't my father have some relations in Dorothy? Then I wanted to come down this road.